Hey guys, Greg here, Underground Graphics. Today we're going to do the TRX Beadlock wheel overlay. So this is our piece that's going to do the trim ring on the beadlock. If you have the optional beadlocks from the factory, this will come off pretty easy. I think it's a TRX 50. We used an impact on that. So be careful getting those off. Again, we had no issue doing that. But if you're like me, I wanted to change this up, see what it would look like before I sent these off to powder coat. A lot of people, again, like myself, always changing my mind, what looks good, what do I want to do. Our white TRX, we've been kind of playing with colors, doing some reds, doing some blues. I actually like the white, wasn't much different from the silver though, so I wanted to show you what that looked like with red on there. Again, we've been seeing lots of people do stuff in custom with powder coat. This will last. I've had stuff like this on my Jeep for about 3 years now without any issues. Obviously, if you're going to go in the rocks and get scratched up, this, it'll still scratch the beadlock, but this can easily be replaced. We're going to do this kit, a set of 4 for, I believe it's 125. And again, we're going to show you real quick how these go on. Obviously, it's not going to be a full wrap. You're going to get a little bit of silver inside those holes, and then again on that edge. But it's really just about, you're leaving about 1/4 inch, and you really cannot see that at all from the front. Once we're done, we'll get a quick shot of that up close so you can see what that looks like. But again, I want to show you how quick and easy this is to make a big change for the look of your TRX. So first thing we're gonna do, like I said, we're gonna get that wheel off with that TRX 50. Clean these rings very good. If you're like me or mine, road grime, oil, dirt, all that stuff, we're gonna use that alcohol water mix. I use 30% alcohol, 70% water, get that nice and clean. This is a pretty heavy ring, flat table. You can do this on the vehicle. It's a lot easier if you take these off. So we do prefer to take those off. On my Jeep, they do not come off. I have the fake ones. So I did do those on the vehicle. But again, I want to tape this down just so it doesn't slide around as I pull this vinyl on there. So just something just to give it a little bit of stick. I just want to put that on the back. And this is ridge on the back. So maybe just 4 along that top end, that top ridge. And this is going to be pretty quick. Guys, if you have any questions on anything, we're always here to answer questions or comments. This TRX, we've done a couple things for them, and we still have some new stuff in the works. American flags and stuff like that, just some of your basic generic stuff. Do notice too that you're gonna have a hole in here, a cutout. That's for that air valve. So you wanna make sure that that decal matches up with that. This is not going to be that, it's not just put it around the holes and go. Make sure you know that that cutout is there in place. We've made that mistake once, so don't want you to do that. So again, this is going to be that air mask vinyl, air release vinyl, I'm sorry. The mask will be a paper mask or a clear like what you have on here. We're going to peel that whole thing off. But this will be a dry install, really easy to do. Just gonna let this float right on there. Again, we want to get to that valve right up on top. And you may have to, again, make sure that table is clean because you are gonna kind of move this around. So it's really just getting all those holes positioned. And you're gonna have just the right amounts. See if you do the bottom 2, kind of tack that. Bring that up, work your way around. And it may take a few shots at this, but again, this is really forgiving vinyl, so you can give it a little stretch. Make sure those are meeting up with those holes. There we go, once we got that down on there. Remember too, you've got these little, where the protrusions, I guess we want to call that. You've got an inset in there, so we're going to have to work in there, and I'll show you how to get that there in a second. Again, we're going to send you one of these plastic squeegees. So we're going to go ahead and work our way around there, get that tacked. Once that's tacked, we can pull off that mask. This may be a little tricky because you don't want to peel back the vinyl, but you do want to get that started on getting that mask off of there. Like I said, it's a little tricky to get in there and get in that seam, but there I see it starting now. All right. And I'm going to go ahead and cut this just so I can pull this out. I'm going to cut all the way across, and then I can pull at an angle, so I'm not going to pull up that vinyl. So pull that mask at a 180-degree angle against itself. Again, the tools for this, I don't think I mentioned that. We're going to provide you with that plastic squeegee, but you are going to want a heat gun for this. You want to do that to get these recessions as those dip down into that little V area in there. And again, go slow. You're going to have like a little a lip, about maybe about a 1/4 inch, if that, on the inside to kind of tuck in, and the same thing on the outer ring. And essentially, this is where you can use that heat, but as we start from here, I'm going to lift up on that tab just a little bit to kind of work that vinyl in there. And that's where that heat's going to come in, and just get that warm. That'll soften that up, and it goes in really easy. If you've got a wrap glove, again, this stuff is so easy to do, but you don't have to have that, especially for this. But when you pull that up, if you had any stretch on that, that's where I want to get that heat on there, get that warm, let that relax back into its shape. And then we're just going to work on that face for now. So again, I don't know if you saw that, there's a big bubble in here from where we tacked that down. So I'm going to lift this up just enough to release that air out of there, warm that up a little bit, and then just with my thumb I can push out that air. Even though this is air release, I don't want any stress on it, so that's what we're doing, is just letting that lay down in there. And I don't even think I really need that heat on that top side of that, but there's like 8 of these or something. I don't know if you can see behind me, but we did that front wheel already. And again, we can do this in basically any color as long as it's available. Obviously, we want to go with those standard colors. I think which look best with the the paint that your vehicle is. So if you've got the red, get the red. If you've got the blue, let's do the blue. Black, we can do black. White, we can do white. If you got the ignition orange, we can do that in orange. You got to get the beadlocks. And obviously colors are limited on depending on if you want to do something custom. But give us a call. Be happy to check. Like I say, you don't have to be a pro to do some of this stuff. This is a really easy thing to do. I've had wheels powder coated, never had the rings powder coated, but I know sometimes, most of the time, it's a pain in the butt having to get that stuff there, wait for it. That always takes a lot longer than they tell you. You may get it back and be like, I don't know if I should have done that or not. Again, this is something that you can keep it on there if you like it. Or you can take it off and say, you know what, this is great, I want it permanent, go back and powder coat it, but this will definitely last. So I've got that, was that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, now we're gonna go back and we're gonna heat that inside edge. And again, I just wanna get that warm. You'll see that vinyl get kind of soft as you get that heat to that. And then we can just use our thumb and roll those edges down. And this is the edge that fits flush right up against the face of the wheel. I don't know if you can see, we've got little cuts in there as well, so it'll help that layers not to wrinkle in these corners. I know this may not be for everybody. Some people go, why not just paint it? Or you can plastic dip it. You can do whatever you want to it. Well, we love vinyl graphics and we wanted to make some options for you guys. Again, it's something that we do for a lot of our other vehicles. Ooh, that's getting hot. All right. And then just go back and make sure we've got full adhesion. We're all the way down. And then we're gonna go back and do the same thing on the outside. Now that that's down, we really don't need that tape, so we can pull that back up, let you guys kind of take a look at what we're doing. I do wanna make sure we go back and, like I said, these edges all along here, it's a lot easier on those. I don't even know if we need the heat for that. We'll go back and check. Let's do this first and then go back, and if we need to add some heat, we can. And again, that plastic squeegee, I would not recommend doing that heavy on the vinyl without the mask on top of that. If you want to wrap a microfiber, or if you have a squeegee that already has the felt edge on it, use that so you don't scratch up this vinyl. This is a, I say it's not self-healing, but our gloss vinyls do have a laminate on them, and with a little bit of heat, any of those surface scratches typically come out without any, wouldn't even know they were there. And again, once this is all down, we do want to go back with that heat. This is going to be obviously on the wheel of a vehicle, so you want to make sure this is permanently set. And again, that rule of thumb for us has always been about 180, 190 degrees. We know that that's all down on there. We got that edge all the way down. You can see it's just that flat part of that edge. Coming all the way over that is going to risk some fingering or some wrinkles, which means we'd have to wrap around that whole edge. We wanted to make this simple for you. Again, you can do this without taking this off your wheel. You're going to have to tuck this edge with the edge of that squeegee in between the face of the wheel and the ring, but it is doable. Again, it's just as easy to take this off. But we want to go back over that and get that nice and warm. And again, you can see if there's any spots that you didn't really, I'm just using my hand to push this down. Most important part of this is getting it clean. So like I said, going back there with the alcohol and making sure you got all that dirt and grime out of there. So this looks as good as it can. Guys, so that's it. I'm gonna go ahead and bring that camera up a little bit closer, show you how to, we'll get that back on there, and then we'll get some close-up shots of that. But that is that TRX Beadlock trim ring wrap overlay. Again, that'll be a new item on our site for you TRX owners. And like I said, be sure and keep following us. We will have some new TRX product coming out. Yeah, all right, let's cut. We'll be right back. All right, so there we go. So that is that red beadlock trim ring that we've just installed. This is that front wheel. We had this done earlier or late last week. That we just did here in the video. And again, if you look real close, you can see that edge, just inside the tire in the corner of that trim ring. But this really is a lot of coverage for that. We do not want to get inside those bolts, because as you said, tighten those back down, those are going to turn and they're going to tear that vinyl. But again, a great option if you just want to do something custom to change up the look of your truck. Again, these would be great. In this case, I would do white on a white truck, but I wanted to show you that red just as it would stand out. And again, we were very happy with it. All right, so thanks a lot. Let us know what you think. Like, comment, give us a call, give us an email. See you next time with some new products.